Hello and welcome to this video. Today we are looking at the YieldMax ETF payouts that occurred on Friday, May 30th. This involves two groups, though they're weekly ETFs and their Group C ETFs. In this video, we're going to have a brief disclaimer, background, tell you about my strategy for doing this, review this week's YieldMax income, which happened on Friday, May 30th, and look ahead to next week's YieldMax announcement on Wednesday, June 4th. That'll be affecting weekly ETFs and their Group D ETFs. So first off, brief disclaimer, investing involves the risk of loss. This video is not meant to be financial advice. Other than owning the ETFs presented in this video, I have no affiliation with the company that issued them. So for background, on May 28th, Wednesday, last week, YieldMax announced dividend payouts. Their announcements were affected with their weekly ETFs, which are paid weekly, and the Group C ETFs, which are paid out every 4 weeks. Here's my strategy. Based on YieldMax's Wednesday's dividend announcement, I buy more weekly ETFs to achieve my desired monthly income target. I also buy more of their current Group ETFs to achieve my desired monthly income target. My current monthly income target is $130 per month per ETF or $1,560 per year. So let's take a look at the announcement. Here it is. This was from May 28th, 2025, and it shows you all of the ETF payouts that YieldMax was going to do for the 30th of May. And so we're going to review if this happened or not and what my calculations showed. So going to my spreadsheet, you can see that last week on Wednesday, the 28th of May, I bought enough shares to cover this much. These are my goals. I covered everything. Didn't need to buy any additional shares after the announcement came out. Used the dividend amount that they were going to give and my average to make sure that I did get enough money to cover each ETF for my goal. And my goal at the time was roughly $1,913.18. So what actually happened on the 30th of May? Well, it's hard to see because there's so little room. We had a 5-week month, and you can see by all the numbers that those are numbers that I filled in over time. But if you want to be into the details, you can see that I did put in all of the numbers that have come in for the actual month. So here are the monthly Group C amounts, and then here are the last week of the month in May. So that ends up being $1,913.18, which I've actually showed the calculations here. It's basically taking the whole column, all 5 columns, adding them up, and then subtracting out this whole column, because there were 2 payouts for Group C in May, and there were 5 payouts for the weekly, and I took out the first 4. So the remaining amount turns out to be $1,913, which matches pretty exactly what I had estimated it to be. So quite happy about that. That's good to see that my estimations are coming in, and this covers only the last week of May. And I'll have a separate video for all of May to see how much that total added up to be. So quite happy with this. Now let's take a brief look to next week, where we're going to be seeing Group D affected. And here you go. Next week, which would be June 7th, I believe. I'm not going to need to add any, or right now, as of right now, based on historic calculations, I will not have to put any more money into the weeklies for the first week of June. And according to this, for the Group D, I will need to add some money. Now, what I have changed now is this. Instead of waiting, if I see that I need to add funds the week before, I'm going to go ahead and buy the extra shares here. I think it's cheaper to do it that way instead of waiting for the day of and filling out this information. It might change things a bit. It may make things a little more expensive. I don't know. It's just an experiment. Either way, I may be overshooting it because the dividends might be more. The latest dividends might be more in value. But for now, I went ahead and bought the extra shares. It was only $949, so I went ahead and did that. So next week, first week of June, I expect to make $2,736. This is, like I said, a new way. I'm also on margin. Basically, this margin needs to go up, and that's what I ended up doing. I ended up going up in margin by almost $1,000. So this became $10,000 and about $10,000, almost $10,000. So that will affect. Going on margin is extremely risky for me, but I'm not really. I have plenty of margin in this account, but I just want I'm experimenting with it and trying to get more familiar with how to use margin, and it's exciting and yet at the same time scary. I'm nowhere near a margin call, so please don't be afraid for me. But regardless, it's exciting. So next for Group D, this is what I need to add, and I've already done that, and I will show you that in a later video next week. All right, so if we go back to the presentation, so the action items, I've already told you I've done this. I've already made adjustments to Group D for next week based on what you saw in the spreadsheet, and hopefully that'll be a cheaper way to do that, or maybe I'm wasting money. We'll find out next week. And if you want the links to the YieldMax and their announcements, they are in the description below. If you want to see more videos like this, please click on this video here. This is the one describing what I did, adjustments I made for this payout. And as always, please comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you.